Well, thanks for joining us on the Thundersport iPlayer. It's the JHS Racing Super Twins and Formula 400s here from Cadwell Park, the fourth round of 2013. David Allingham on the Beamer Aprilia, the 450, lining up on pole position. What a fine weekend he's having so far. Closing in on Daniel Freer in the points overall. Lewis Rollo, the reigning Aprilia Super Team champion, 13-year-old Scot, really going well at Cadwell, so we need to keep an eye out for him. You can just see Daniel Freer, the blue and yellow bike on the second row, but that is Luke Thackeray that lines up third on the grid, number 95, younger brother of Jamie Thackeray, also on the grid. Luke, however, having a very, very good weekend. He's had a chance to win a few races. Decent crowd here at Cadwell. Beautiful day, perfect for racing. We're up in the late teens in terms of temperature. Quite a warm track temperature also, and it looks like we're ready to go racing here. The JHS Racing Super Twins. David Allingham, he's going to take some stopping here. Away we go from the line, and it looks like a very good start indeed from both David Allingham and Lewis Rollo, number 11 and number 8. Keep an eye out for Daniel Freer, championship leader, number 66 on the Kawasaki 650. We've also got a few Formula 400s to keep an eye out for, and Daniel Freer it is, the championship leader that has got himself in front into Park Corner ahead of David Allingham and Lewis Rollo. That's Luke Thackeray in fourth place. It looks like Ross Twyman, number 15, currently third overall in the standings, has got himself up into fifth place as they come down the hill. Yes, he has, ahead of Jamie Thackeray. Dave Butler, great start for him on the mini twin. There are the two Kawasaki's, 111, Sam Smith, and 75, Ozzy Mady. They are in their own championship. They all score points overall, and then they're in three separate championships: the 650 Open, the Super Twins, in fact 4 mini twins, and the 400s as well, as they all filter through into the bottom of the mountain. There we see 67 Gideon Thomas and number 5 George Stanley over the mountain at the famous Cadwell Park. Through Hall Bends we go, single file. It is Daniel Freer still that leads from number 11, David Allingham, as we see once again George Stanley, number 5, rider that won the Riders' Rider last year, voted by the other riders, of course, in the Aprilia Super Teams. This is his first year on a 450. On to the start-finish straight, though, to complete the first lap, and Daniel Freer from the second row. A great start to this race for him, although David Allingham tucked in the slipstream. Looks like Luke Thackeray has moved up a place into third. That's number 9, Ben Luxton, making a move, or trying to make a move on Dave Butler, the mini-twin rider. They go around Coppice. We just lose them as they go into Charlie's, but there's a change for the lead. David Allingham now up the inside into Park Corner. Second gear corner, up through Chris Curve now. So it's Allingham that leads from Freer and Luke Thackeray. When we started the weekend out, there's about a 35-point gap between David Allingham in second place and Daniel Freer, the leader, but that has come down considerably. There is number 91, sorry, Dave Butler from Dublin on the Spears Enterprises Suzuki 650 mini twin. He is leading the mini twin race effectively because Dan Taylor and Keith Clark are a bit further back. This is your race leader overall, David Allingham, the 18-year-old Northern Irish rider, ahead now of Luke Thackeray. I think that's got up into second. It is Luke Thackeray there. Good effort from him. He does like Cadwell Park, and he's having a sensational weekend. We usually see quite a good performance from his brother Jamie around Cadwell, but he's just a bit further back. Onto the start-finish straight again. A massive look over the shoulder there from David Allingham. That will lose him probably a tenth or two. And tucked in the slipstream there, or trying to get in the slipstream, is Luke Thackeray. Jamie Thackeray has moved up into 4th or 5th place now. So the brother has got his eyes set on his other brother. And there's number 10 going across the line. That's Joe Sheldon Shaw. He's on the Kawasaki 400, currently in 4th place of the 400s. Allingham it is, though, that leads. He's just broken away slightly from Luke Thackeray, Daniel Freer, Lewis Rollo. That is Jamie Thackeray having to sit up, going on the rumble strips there, just running a bit wide. Tightens up on you, that corner, and he's lost a couple of places as Ross Twyman moves up underneath him, and there's another rider going straight on. That's number 70, that's Tom Neve, the mini-twin, a rider that's been taken, well, basically, the rider that's been giving him a lot of advice and taking him under his wing is Phil Crow. Not a bad rider to have by your side, but Tom there, unfortunately, just pushed on onto the grass. And here is Allingham, your race leader. Throughout the 2013 season so far, most of these races have been very close at the front. They've been won by 3/4 of a second, but Allingham is really pushing on here, putting in some decent laps. And Luke Thackeray, you have to wonder if he's maybe holding up this gaggle of riders behind him. There's Ben Luxton on the JDF Aprilia 450, just getting himself onto the back of that group. Again, a look over the shoulder. That's what a pit board's for, David. And he's got one anyway, so I'm not sure why he does that. But Allingham crosses the line. Race leader ahead of Luke Thackeray and Daniel Freer. Lewis Rollo setting himself up maybe for a move on Daniel Freer into turn 1. And Allingham will be quite pleased to see that Daniel Freer is struggling a bit further behind, because the more points that he can close in the championship overall, the better. From here, we move on to Alton Park next month in Cheshire. But Allingham looking really, really strong. Very talented rider. Freer has managed to get himself up into second, so whatever work Freer is doing around Charlie's, where we just lose sight of him, it's good work. That is Lewis Rollo, though, making a move on him, maybe. There's Allingham, the race leader. Let's have a look. Yes, look at Rollo in third, really looking good. And Harry Coomber has made up a couple of places now. So Harry Coomber has moved ahead of Luke Thackeray, and then it's Jamie Thackeray and Ross Twyman. And Rollo up the inside into the chicane. That's a really tough move to pull off. So a good effort there from Lewis Rollo, the young Scot, coming back into form, finding the confidence. It's his first season on a 450, having won the Aprilia Super Team class last year. Second might just be the best result that he can look for out of this race at the moment, because Allingham has got himself a 2.5 second lead at the front, and his lap times are looking very good indeed. Very consistent for the Ulsterman. Onto the start-finish straight. No look over the shoulder this time. Head tucked in, across the line. He ticks off another lap. Lewis Rollo looking good there in second place. Then Freer third, Coomber fourth, Luke Thackeray in fifth. That looks like Ross Twyman. Oh, not quite. Jamie Thackeray in sixth. And then in seventh place for Ross Twyman. Further back in the mini-twins, Dave Butler still has the lead overall. Daniel Taylor second, Keith Clark in third. And in the 400s, Ozzy Mady currently leads ahead of Sam Smith and Rich Richardson, who's embroiled in quite a fine battle with fellow 400 rider Joe Sheldon Shaw. They're both in about 19th and 20th overall. Look at the queue here of traffic for second place. Allingham, well, he's very comfortable. He'll be over the moon with this performance, but look at all this lot. Daniel Freer just getting his nose in front again of Lewis Rollo, who's going around the outside. That can't work, surely not at Mansfield. It has. What an unbelievable move from Lewis Rollo. One of the trickiest corners on the calendar. And Lewis Rollo's gone round the outside, carrying a lot of corner speed. Brilliant move there. He gets himself up into second place. There's George Stanley. There is Sam Smith, number 111. So, a bit of movement from the rear end there of Sam Smith on the Kawasaki 400, but this race looks like it belongs to David Allingham, number 11. He comes across the line. He's got a lead now of 3 seconds ahead of Lewis Rollo. Daniel Freer just has a look over his shoulder and even then manages to go up the inside of Lewis Rollo into Coppice Corner. Further back, that is a battle going on between Alex Baker and Gideon Thomas. Back with the leader, David Allingham. I just need to double check when we see that fight for second place in a moment. No, Harry Coomber is doing very well. I thought that he just dropped down to 5th or 6th place, but he's actually looking here very hungry into the gooseneck. One of the fastest corners, tricky corner as well, but that is the battle for second. Daniel Freer, the championship leader. Lewis Rollo, number 8, who didn't have the best of Brands Hatch rounds on the Sunday, then knocked himself out at Donington, tried to recover back at Snetterton, but here he is on top form again. Nobody can catch David Allingham, though. He's 3 or 4 tenths of a second quicker on every single lap. There's George Stanley, Ozzy Mady there, number 75, just going through. And Ozzy Mady leading the 400s now because he's got himself ahead of Sam Smith. Across the line to complete another lap. Daniel Freer just manages, in the sections of the circuit that we can't see, it seems that's where Daniel Freer is quicker. Through Hall Bends and into the woods, and then up here into Coppice and around Charlie's. He's doing a pretty good job there. Further back, going across the line, that is number 26. Daniel Taylor, currently second in the mini-twins. But David Allingham never ever seems to get himself into a pickle. He doesn't really like getting in too many battles. He's when he does get himself in a battle, he still comes out of it on top. But a remarkable rider, Allingham, really, last season plagued with injury, very unfortunate, wasn't really able to mount a challenge for the 450 title along with Callum Cooper. But this year, despite getting that collarbone break just before the start of 2013, he, since then, has been like a rocket, full of confidence. Got that new sponsor for this year, Be More, and the sponsors will be very, very happy with their lot so far. There's Dave Butler, currently in a bit of a lonely race. He's in 8th place overall. He's behind that group of riders fighting for 2nd, but he is leading mini-twin rider. A bit of traffic here coming across the line. The last lap flag out being shown by Mark there. And David Allingham just got a bit of traffic, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. As we see a couple of the 400s just going by. So on this final lap, who's going to get 2nd place? It looks like it's going to be between Rollo and Freer, as we just see David Allingham putting a lap on Pete Gibson. Just cruising around Chris Curve. On that last lap, he was well over 4 seconds clear, but it looks like he's just rolling off a little bit around the gooseneck down into Mansfield. Leg out. Kevin Schwantz style, or Rossi style, or whoever you want. It seems most of the riders these days dangling the left leg out of the new chicane. Big look over the shoulder, and he knows that he's got this one in the bag. Doesn't want to take any risks now. Lewis Rollo and Daniel Freer through the 3rd sector. You can't really split them. There's only a couple of tenths between them, and there they are. Lewis Rollo at the moment has it, so Daniel Freer, the only place he's going to be able to put on a move, you would think, is into the hairpin, but I don't think he's close enough. He's going to have to settle for 3rd place, and that will mean that David Allingham will close the points gap down at the front by 9, and across the line Allingham goes. He's even got a chance to see where Daniel Freer finishes. Lewis Rollo takes 2nd, a good result for him. Daniel Freer 3rd. Thackeray, that's Luke Thackeray 4th. Ross Twyman 5th. Where's Harry Coomber? Jamie Thackeray's gone through as well. Harry Coomber has gone missing. So Dave Butler goes across the line there. He wins the mini-twins. The top 6 then, Allingham, Rollo, Freer, Thackeray, Twyman and Thackeray. So Luke ahead of Jamie. But Harry Coomber, who you'd expect to finish in the top 3 or 4 of this championship overall, didn't come across the line, so maybe we lost him for the last couple of laps as the rest of the mini-twins go through. It was in the end a top 3 in the mini-twins for Butler, Taylor and Clark. And in the 400s, it's a win for Ozzy Mady. He finished in 9th place overall. Just squeezed himself ahead of George Stanley in the end, but there is a very happy David Allingham. He's going to take a lot of confidence here from Cadwell Park onto Alton. Confirmation then of the results. Allingham with the win. Rollo 2nd. Much better performance from the young Scotsman. Daniel Freer struggling a bit here on his home circuit in 3rd. And there's a very happy winner overall. David Allingham in the middle. In the mini-twins, Dave Butler with the win ahead of Daniel Taylor and Keith Clark. And in the 400s, it's Ozzy Mady with the win ahead of Sam Smith and Rich Richardson.
Winner of the Formula 400 race, Ozzy Mady. That was a good race for you, and you're currently leading the championship, so that's probably pushed you ahead quite a bit. Yeah,
it's after Snetterton, I mean, Sam didn't really get out at Snetterton, so it was good to have a race then. You know, his bike's working better again, it seems to be. Good little dogfight, settled it towards the end. No, it's just really, really hot out there. The tyres are struggling a bit, especially the back end, just sliding around a lot, so I think it's whoever can deal with the heat, to be honest.
Other than the conditions, do you like Cadwell Park?
I love Cadwell Park. I mean, after last year, I crashed like every single day. So far, touch wood, I ain't crashed yet. So see if I can make it the last race and stay on it.
Definitely. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, but first of all, my parents, Andy Grimshaw of AGL Motorsports, he sorted the suspension, the engine. Steve Christie of Appetite's Deli on the Isle of Man, and with Riz Racing, Shark helmets and TCX boots. And I'd just like to say congratulations to my sister who's going to hospital to have a baby tonight.
Congratulations, well done. Thank you. And Dave Butler, winner of the mini-twin race. Again, like Ozzy, you're leading your championship at the minute, and this win must push you ahead of it.
Yeah, I think it does. So I think Alex Blatt had a bad weekend so far, so I just have to make the most of it, so what I can.
Well done. Any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, my uncle Des, who owns the bike, and Greg Spears and Spears Enterprises. Murray Motorsport, Rory Quinn Agri Services. And I'd also like to wish Jimmy Duggan well. He had a big crash in Mondello yesterday, so just get well soon.
Thank you very much. And winner of the Super Twins and winner overall, and the white bike that you saw flying ahead in that race, is David Allingham. Dave, you were leading that race for pretty much all of it. Did you enjoy that, or do you like the battles?
I like battling, but I think that Dan maybe got caught up a bit by everybody else. They started battling, and it maybe like let me just get away a bit, get me a bit of breathing space. And yeah, as soon as I got to the front, I was just like controlling it from, Dad was giving me the pit board, just controlling it from there and just making sure it wasn't coming down, getting my lap times right, and yeah, that's more or less what I was doing.
It worked out well. Any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank B-More, EHA Group, Ian, Jimmy, Silkline, Bridgestone, everybody, all Thundersport, thank you very much.
Well done, Dave.
Welcome to the Thundersport iPlayer Street Fighters on the grid, sponsored by A&R Racing, and Scott Adam on pole position. That's rather Larry Bright's helmet that he's got there. It's commentator's dream. Number 9, Reese Rothwell, the defending Street Fighter A and Street Fighter Extreme champion. He's got company in the form of his brother. There is Curtis right next to him on the grid. I'm pretty sure in saying that the last time those two actually raced against each other competitively was back in 2009 in the Triumph Triple Challenge, but I'll have to double check on that. Away from the lights we go, and it is Scott Adam that has the advantage. Scott Adam currently leading overall in the championship, having a good season so far ahead of Reese Rothwell. Curtis, well, this is his first appearance with Thundersport this year, the reigning Mini Twins champion, so both the Rothwells picking up championships last year. 1-2-1 there in the all black. That is Martin Stanier back with us for this weekend as well. Gordon Wright out there, number 11 on the KTM Super Duke. They are the Street Fighter A runners, the larger capacity machines. Street Fighter B, look out for championship leader 911. There he is, Adam Sheriff on the yellow CBR 600. He's currently out there ahead of the likes of Richie Harrison, and the Palfreman brothers are also out. David and Adam Palfreman, Adam back for a round. He obviously couldn't stay away. He told me that he was going to have a sabbatical, but I wouldn't call 2 rounds out a sabbatical. It's Scott Adam through Hall Bends. He has been unstoppable so far this weekend, looking really, really solid. Reese Rothwell in a safe second. There's Sheriff leading the Street Fighter Bs ahead of Stratford. Looking back in Street Fighter Cs, 1 or 2 new names to look out for on the Supermoto machines. Clint Davis out there on an Aprilia 550. Andy Scanlon is a name that you'll probably know if you watch plenty of this. Andy Driver, likewise, and Keith Warren. Mark Lawson is a newcomer to Street Fighter C, the 660 TM. Well, not heard of that before, but a 660 TM he's out there on Street Fighter C. Kevin Yannikos is a local rider. He's out there on the Husaberg 570. And Ben Masters on the Honda 450. But already in the opening stages of this race here, Scott Adam trying to pull away. Reese Rothwell doing his best to hold on to the tail of Scott. Curtis Rothwell further back in 3rd. There is number 32, we mentioned just a moment ago, Adam Palfreman. Adam back with his, just a couple of places behind his brother, Dave Palfreman. But this is the battle at the front once more. Adam and Rothwell going through. Then Curtis Rothwell there, number 10, and number 121. Martin Stanier, currently 5th in the championship. Coming into this round, he's actually behind Adam Sheriff overall on points, but he's going to close that gap down. Scott Adam here. Scott, you may remember fighting for the Super Twins Championship a couple of years ago and losing out in the end to Lee Reevely. Reese Rothwell, who's been with us for a few seasons now. There's Richie Harrison, number 48. Richie from Barrow-in-Furness on the HBR Yamaha 600. He's also supported by, well, he's one of many riders supported by the North Yorkshire Road Racing Supporters Club, and brother of Jonathan Harrison, a former champion at Thundersport GP and the Thundersport 500s. He's actually here this weekend supporting Richard. There's Gordon Wright. Gordon, number 11 on the KTM 990 Super Duke Street Fighter A machine. First season of racing, first time at Cadwell this weekend. There is 666, the Devil, Kevin Yannikos on the Husaberg 570. just behind Dave Milling and Mark Lawson at the moment on circuit. But Scott Adam opening up quite a good lead here on the FB Moto Store Suzuki 750. It's basically your standard Suzuki GSXR 750 with flat bars on it. Take the fairings off and it's a Street Fighter. Hey presto. Number 9, just behind him there, Reese Rothwell. Same bike as he won the championship on last year, Triumph 675. Again, flat bars, take off the front fairings, and you have yourself a Street Fighter A machine. Reese, of course, from Bolton. Martin Stanier, similar machine to Scott Adam, number 121. He's out there also on the Suzuki 750. Surprising, actually, that we've not seen too many Aprilia Melees converted into Street Fighters this year. Aprilia Melees that have won the majority of the Street Fighter A championships in the past. If you think back to the likes of Jamie Wilkins and Keith Smith, they really got those machines singing, and they still hold the majority of the lap record. Scott Adam not far off that lap record, a 35.7 that time round. That's actually only half a second off Jamie Wilkins' lap record. And Jamie, well, if you're watching, hope everything's going well. He stopped racing a season or so ago, concentrating on his cycling now, I believe. Keith Smith is here this weekend, watching, probably drinking. There's Scott Adam going through then ahead of Reese Rothwell. Championship this year, of course, sponsored by A&R Racing. A&R Racing loyal supporters. You'll find their stand in most, well, in every single Thundersport GB paddock. And they sort out plenty of tyres, the Pirelli and Metzlers for most of the Street Fighters here. There's Adam Sheriff, number 911, the deputy, as we've been nicknaming him for the season so far, the rider from Barnsley on the Honda, leading the Street Fighter B Championship. So it's his first season with us. He's got quite a healthy lead over Ryan Strafford at the moment. There is number 11, Gordon Wright, who comes all the way down from Falkirk in his van on his own to have a bit of a play. I would imagine he's looking forward to Alton Park, a circuit he's never been to. That comes up for us the next round of Thundersport GB. There's Reese Rothwell. Well, you know, he was looking for some competition last year. He's certainly got it this year. Scott Adam really on it. It's a shame that we've not got Ian Popplewell out there, because after Ian Popplewell wrapped up the Street Fighter B Championship last year, he entered a couple of Street Fighter A races, and I remember in particular the last round at Mallory 2012. What a race that was between Reese and Ian Popplewell. And so far this year, we've seen a couple of scuffles between Scott Adam and Reese Rothwell, but it's usually one or the other doing very well at a circuit, so we've been robbed of any brilliant battles. Number 11 there, Gordon Wright, still in 5th place overall. So Scott Adam leads the Street Fighter A's, Adam Sheriff leads Street Fighter B's. In the Street Fighter C, decent battle going on, as you just see there, 57 Ryan Strafford, currently 2nd in Street Fighter B's on that Triumph. Good battle going on for Street Fighter C's between number 24, Andy Scanlon, and 65, Clint Davis. So keep an eye out for those guys. Scott Adam just stretching away now. Reese Rothwell struggling to keep up. Reese is constantly lapping in the 136s. Scott Adam had a couple of laps in the 35s and just putting a lap on Ben Masters there. Let's have a look further back. That's Curtis Rothwell, the reigning Mini Twins champion. This is his first run out this year. Curtis also on a Triumph 675, just like Reese. In 3rd place at the moment, ahead of Martin Stanier. Gordon Wright's in 5th. Then it's 6th place for this man, Adam Sheriff, who leads Street Fighter B's by a good 5 or 6 seconds from Ryan Strafford. And then it's Dave Palfreman, Richard Harrison and Adam Palfreman. They're in 8th, 9th and 10th on circuit. Reese Rothwell, who won the championship with a few rounds to spare, Street Fighter A and Street Fighter Extreme. Street Fighter Extreme points are the total points added up between every single race when you come to A, B and C overall. And there is once again in 5th place Gordon Wright, finding his way around Cadwell Park circuit. quite narrow. He might be used to that from a couple of the Scottish circuits that he's visited before. Here's number 57, Ryan Strafford from Murfield on the RSR Racing Triumph. Saw Andy Denyer, actually, a former Street Fighter A champion in the paddock here at Cadwell Park a little earlier on, and he's been making noises about coming back into the class. He said, yeah, it's looking a bit boring, isn't it? He said, I think I might come into a couple of rounds, so it'd be nice to see Andy Denyer out there, but he's going to have to be on his best form to keep up with Scott Adam. Scott, a rider that, when he's on form, he's got plenty of confidence. He's pretty quick. He's quite a versatile rider as well. He's pretty much takes to any bike that he jumps on. He's been on all sorts of machinery in the last 3 or 4 years, and the last lap flag comes out. Huge lead that he's got now, just over 10 seconds to Rhys Rothwell, who will lose another couple of points to Scott in the championship, but by finishing second, at least it's only 5. Curtis Rothwell there, still in 3rd place. Martin Stanley has closed in a little bit, but well, unless you're Scott Adam, this is not a race that's going to live long in the memory, is it? This has been quite a disappointing affair. We've not really seen many close battles going on. As you see, Curtis Rothwell in 3rd there, going around ahead of Martin Stanier. On that last lap, Martin Stanier has closed in quite a bit. He's been pumping in some decent laps. Gordon Wright has had a very, very lonely race indeed. He's 20 seconds behind Stanier, but he's about 15 seconds ahead of Adam Sheriff, number 911, who's just cruising around now. Ryan Strafford has got himself, Adam Sheriff has got himself about a 6-7 second lead over Strafford. And these are the Street Fighter C guys going around. On that last lap, Clint Davis went across the line about a second ahead of Andy Scanlon. So in his first Thundersport meeting, it looks like Clint Davis, number 65, might just take the win. Across the line then, overall, 25 points, extends his championship lead. Scott Adam, very happy with that. Rhys Rothwell takes second. Probably about the best he could hope for from that. He's got a decent gap over his brother, so he just clenches the fist and punches the air. Gordon Wright just acknowledges the checkered flag there, being waved by our very own Dave Richardson. And winning in Street Fighter B, that on the right in the yellow is number 911, Adam Sheriff. And here comes Dave Palfreman. Oh, Dave was closing up onto the back of Ryan Strafford there, lapping quicker than him towards the end. There's number 50, that's Darren Smith. He finished in 15th place. But that man there, Scott Adam, might just take some stopping this season. Good win for him here at Cadwell Park. Confirmation of the results then. You can see 5 Street Fighter A bikes in the top 5. Adam, Rothwell, Stanier and Gordon Wright. Adam Sheriff sneaking into the top 6 there. Scott Adam then on the top step in Street Fighter A, splitting the Rothwells, and Street Fighter B, Sheriff, Strafford and Palfreman. Street Fighter C, Clint Davis, Andy Scanlon and Andy Driver.
Winner of the Street Fighter C class, Clint Davis. That was a good race for you there, it was very close.
It was very close, yeah. And this is the first time I've been here, first time I've raced, so yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Is it your first time at Cadwell?
No, I've been to Cadwell on track days before, but that's all, never raced.
And how did you find it?
Excellent, loved it, brilliant.
Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, Station Garage, Bilthorpe, thank you, cheers.
Thank you, well done. And Street Fighter B winner, Adam Sheriff. You won at Snetterton and now you won again at Cadwell. You must be pleased with this.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the results, yeah, very happy with it.
And how do you find Cadwell? You like it here?
I do like Cadwell, it is my local track, so that's obviously why I'm going that bit better.
Brilliant. Any sponsors to thank?
Held Levers, Nitro Helmets and Silkling Isles mainly, and my wife and kids for coming and supporting me and my friends. So that's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Street Fighter A winner, Scott Adam. You had a pole position, a win and a lap record. You must be chuffed with that.
Yeah, it's not a bad morning at the office, is it? It's because it's, you know, we complain when it's cold and it's really hot this weekend, so it's one of the most physical circuits anyway. And I thought I'd struggle around here, so yeah, I'm surprised, but I'm really, you know, I'm over the moon with that.
It was quite a fight at the front did you feel the pressure from the other riders?
I did to start off with, because in the first race yesterday, I got a bit of a lead and then I let it slip, and Reece just picked me by 0.1 of a second to the win. So I didn't want that to happen again, and I could hear his bike zinging away in my ear for the first few laps, and I thought, oh, here we go. But luckily, he just sort of dropped off a little bit and just gave me a bit of breathing space, and you can relax and get on with it. But yeah, no, well, I don't know how close it was at the end, but certainly at the start, he was definitely all over me. I could sense he was there.
It'll be very close when you watch it back. Well, good luck for your next race. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, got a few. Pact Engineering, Fleet Transport, Practical Car and Van Rental, FB Motor Store, Ryan at Motor Race Bears, Ashfield Trailer Services. That's probably about it, really. I can't think of anybody else.
Well done. Thank you.
Right, cheers.
Welcome to Cadwell Park, the HMT Racing Thundersport 500s. Out in the sun to play for round 4 of the Thundersport GB Championships, and the man of the moment, the championship leader, number 61, Adam Shelton from Hull. Not too far away from Cadwell. This is his home circuit. This is the place that if you'd have looked at the championship at the start of the year, you'd have said Adam Shelton favourite to win every Thundersport 500 race at Cadwell. Number 100 there, Neil Bainbridge, doing a very, very solid job so far this season, second overall in the championship, and nice to see a few new faces up there as well. Oh, it's almost Speedway style, that, isn't it? Rat Out Racing from number 69, Carl Smalley, on the front row there, looking very happy, and almost sort of similar nod to the head that you'd get from Roland Rat as well. I'm not sure he'll thank me for that, but second row there is Rob Morby, number 53, leader of the Senior Cup. A couple of other riders to look out for. Adam Horton is having a good time. What an awful start from Adam Shelton, number 61. What on earth happened there? He's in about 12th or 13th place. Well, he's giving himself a bit of work. He is extremely quick so far this weekend, and when I say that, I mean he's about 2 seconds quicker than any other rider, but he's got a lot of work there to do. About 13th, 14th place. Let's find him. There he is. He's made up a couple of places already. Going up the inside there of number 64, Adam Palfreman. And nice to see James Webster out there as well. Not seen James out racing for a while. James out there having fun on the 500. But it's Neil Bainbridge that leads from Matt Shillings. Carl Smalley third, Rob Morby in 4th place. There is number 66, Webster, just ahead of 13, Richard Blunt. Adam Shelton on this opening lap. I can't actually believe what I'm seeing, but he's managed to get himself up to 3rd place. How on earth has he done that? That is how good he is around this place. Adam Shelton, the stinger. We first saw him in 2008 on an Aprilia Super Teen, and we were mesmerised by his lap times, but this is something else. He's looking here to try, well, I don't think we'll have seen this ever before in Thundersport 500s. If he comes out the other end of Barn and he's got the race lead, it would be something else. On the start-finish straight, when he's got past Shillings, that's absolutely amazing from Adam Shelton. From about 13th, 14th into turn 1, he's managed to get himself up into 2nd. And that is the sort of competition that Neil Bainbridge faces at the moment. The good news for Bainbridge in the championship, as we entered Cadwell, is the fact that Bainbridge has finished every single race, and of the races he finishes, he's been on the podium. Whereas Adam Shelton, it's been win or bin. He's had a couple of falls, and that meant that coming into this weekend, despite the fact that Shelton is now leading, it now means that Shelton has only got about a 14, 15-point lead over Neil Bainbridge before we came into Cadwell. So you've got to finish those races. As we look further back there, it's Matthew Snow, number 70, with the orange bib on, to denote that he is a rookie for 2013. But here is Adam Shelton. He's already broken the lap record this weekend. He's broken the lap record at 3 of the 4 circuits that we've visited. The previous lap record was a 1:44.9. Adam Shelton is on a 1:43.1 at the moment. He's just ripping every single Thundersport 500 record to pieces. If he wasn't in the championship, we'd actually be congratulating the likes of Neil Bainbridge and Matt Shillings at the moment, because they're on course to break lap records themselves, but it's just that Adam Shelton is in a world of his own. Shillings in 3rd place. There is the leader of the Seniors Cup, Rob Morby, 4th overall, currently 3rd in the championship. Then it's Carl Smalley, number 69. Richard Blunt there, Adam Palfreman, Adam Horton, number 49, having a good ride. Number 88 just going through there is Kevin Liddle. See the Dudester, Phil Doody going through. Number 147. Always good to have Phil out on circuit. There's the lack of adhesion flag. So we've either got some liquids on the circuit or some debris on the circuit, as Neil Bainbridge, number 100 on the HBH Racing Honda, looking to do all he can. The best he can achieve here is 4 second places from this weekend and try and limit the damage that Adam Shelton can do. In third place, though, Matt Shillings. I'm here to tell you that Matt Shillings hasn't had a podium as yet in his career, so it would be nice if he can hold it in third place. Adam Horton further back, having some fun. And a number of rookies there, all battling it out for as many points as possible. Adam Shelton already, we're not even halfway through this race, has got himself a huge lead. Across the line he goes. It's got to be a good 5 or 6 seconds as Neil Bainbridge just has a look over his shoulder and sees Matt Shillings there, number 24. Matt, I believe I'm right in saying that he's the youngest rider out on circuit. Adam Horton has got himself up into 4th place ahead of Rob Morby. So Rob Morby, you usually see him on the podium, just struggling a bit in this race. And these guys are all battling for the remaining points. Any one of them could take them. It's 71 there, I've just seen it. That's Dave Palfreman. But those guys are all battling. It's probably a 10th to 17th, 18th they're fighting for. So some of them are going to get points, others are not going to get anything. Number 61, though, Adam Shelton, the rider from Hull, sponsored by Joinery Depot this year. Be interesting to see what he can do on a 600. He needs to get a full championship done and dusted. The last 5 years been hampered with financial difficulty, and he needs to get that championship on the CV and then see what happens afterwards. There's number 42, Jonathan Perry, currently in 16th place ahead of Dave Palfreman. His brother Adam Palfreman up in the top 10. He's having a battle with James Webster and Lewis Bramwell, Gareth Thomas. Alan Brookbanks is up there. Matt Snow we've already seen. Darren Kay, Alex Tennant, Jonathan Perry, and already Adam Shelton showboating. This is the fight for 4th place. At the moment being led by Rob Morby and Adam Horton, sorry. Richard Johnson's having a good run as well, number 156. Nice to see Richie up there, rider from Gainsborough. Richie and his dad Jerry both racing in the same class. Jerry in the Seniors Cup. Bainbridge having a look over his shoulder once more. Matt Shillings, well, he's been so close to that podium in 2013, and it looks like it's going to come here. There is number 13, Richard Blunt. Spoke to Richard's dad in the paddock this weekend, and I can't tell you everything that was said because there's some conversations that I think might have to just strictly remain in the paddock, but all I'll say is if you bump into Richard Blunt's dad, and even if you are watching Richard, maybe you'll have to ask his dad about this, but just ask him about the Barry Sheene conversation and see what happens, because there's some interesting stories that he can tell about Mr. Barry Sheene. See there, 64, Adam Palfreman just going through ahead of Richard Blunt. There is 66, James Webster, sponsored by the Velo Beverley Club. Out there on the Honda, having a good run out here inside the top 10. Pretty sure we saw James out in the inaugural season of the Thundersport 500s, well into the top 5 or 6 as we see the rest of the guys fighting it out. In the Seniors Cup at the moment, Rob Morby leading from Alan Brookbanks and Darren Kay. Mark Hulsall is in 4th place, and Phil Doody is in 5th, number 147, our former professional snooker player. The man that I think has a bath of Brute before each weekend, because he's always, you can smell him from a mile away. Always smells good, this Phil. There is Adam Shelton. Marshall's just running away there. I wonder if we might have had a rider that's fallen. Bainbridge in a comfortable but lonely 2nd place. And Matt Shillings in 3rd. Matt, who is started the weekend 6th in the championship, really could push himself ahead of Carl Smalley and pick up his first podium. That'll be his first appearance on the internet on the podium, so good going for him. 156 there, Richie Johnson still lapping well in the top 8. That's the way Shelton's going at the moment, provided he erases the odd DNF that he has from time to time. He could win this championship with 2 or 3 rounds to spare. But if he does pick up a DNF, that's the thing about this championship so far. You could win 3 out of 4 races over the weekend. But if you finish second in 3 and then you win the remaining race, you end up with more points, and that's what Bainbridge keeps on doing. Richard Blunt getting quite aggressive here, trying to make up some more points. Richard, who's currently 4th in the championship coming into this weekend. Oh my word. Adam Shelton, he's got a lead of 18 seconds, and he almost fell off there. He went straight over the grass into the chicane. So he almost, just as we were mentioning about DNFs, he almost threw it all away. So Shelton, well, a bit of a heart stopper there. Neil Bainbridge, well, he'd have loved that. But it's not happened. Bainbridge is going to have to settle for 2nd place by the looks of things. Adam Shelton exits Barn Corner onto the start-finish straight. The last lap flag is out. It'll be a relief to Adam Shelton. Quite honestly, at the moment, it'll be a bit of a relief to me because this race has been nothing short of uneventful. It's not really the sort of race we're used to seeing in Thundersport 500s, but we have got 1 or 2 talented riders that are nipping under lap records all season so far. The battles sort of between 8th all the way down to 20th, they're absolutely fantastic. But the fights at the front, maybe not so. Oh, and who's that running? That looks like Dave Palfreman, who's fallen here. Dave Palfreman, and it is Dave. Dave's off. He's trying to remount. I can tell you that it won't matter if he does remount and does rejoin. It's nice to see that he's up and he's okay, but Thundersport rules state that you can't remount once you've lost contact with the bike, and that's certainly, when you're running towards it, it usually means you have. Adam Shelton it is that leads, and has got this one in the bag. 17 seconds his advantage ahead of Neil Bainbridge. Adam Horton having a good run there, number 49 ahead of Rob Morby. Adam Horton, will that be a personal best for him in 4th place? Number 49, the rider from Winsford, looking like he's going to get a solid top 5 finish. There's Webster, he's up in the top 10. Adam Palfreman just ahead of him. Blunt looks like he's set for 7th place. So the closest battle we can look out for is Horton and Rob Morby. Here's Adam Shelton, a couple more back markers to deal with. He doesn't really want to make any more trips to the grass. He's got sponsors watching this weekend. There's number 78, Richard Sanders, and Jerry Johnson just going through. I've just had a report through that Richie Johnson, Jerry's son, has just fallen whilst in the top 10, so it's a shame. But Adam Shelton, unstoppable. A great win for him. Very good performance. He smashes the lap record to pieces with that one and extends his championship lead. He's cruising down the park straight whilst we wait for Neil Bainbridge. Still a very, very good performance from Neil there. 2nd place, 20 points for him. And in 3rd, picking up his 1st podium, and very happy indeed with that. About time too. That'll be a relief for him. Matt Schillings, 3rd place overall. It's going to be Adam Horton in 4th. Rob Morby takes 5th place, number 53, and wins the Senior Cup. But Adam Shelton, that's 3 from 3 for him so far this weekend. Winning the race by just under 17.5 seconds. Matt Schillings, 1st ever podium in 3rd place. Well done, Matt. 1st of many, we hope, for the 18-year-old. Horton in 4th place, so there's a very happy winner. And in the Seniors Cup there, Rob Morby, Alan Brookbanks and Darren Kay.
Winner of the Thundersport 500 Seniors class, Rob. That was a good race for you there. You're currently leading the championship as well, so that's pushed you even further ahead.
Yeah, the championship's going really well for me, and the overall championship's not too bad. I'm 3rd in that. I had some good results yesterday. In that one, I had a bit of a bad start. Adam was missed a gear at the start, and I was behind him, so I was battling to finish 5th. I was lucky, really, because there was 2 lads dicing with me, but I'm really pleased for Matt Schillings. He's been chopping at my tail all weekend, and this week, today's beaten me, so I'm pleased for him, even though I'm upset for myself. But yeah, great race, fantastic event again.
Well, we wish you luck in your next race. Any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, everybody at Racing Lines, the boys at Racing Lines, our shop in Derby, they've kept the shop running while I can come away racing, which is fantastic. In the past, they used to shut the shop and come racing, so the boys at the shop, my partner Jane, who's looked after us all weekend, and Chris Johnson, who's prepped the bike for us.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Winner of the race overall, Adam Shelton. There's no stopping him. You proved yourself as a rider at Snet. You started from the back of the grid, but still managed to win it, and you've won yet again today. You must be chuffed with that.
Well, it's the first time I've ridden with earplugs in, and we're running a baffle in the exhaust as well, so I kind of didn't get first gear off the line, which was a bit annoying, to be honest, so it gave me a bit of work to do, but got there in the end, as I say. But massive thanks again for my dad, because he's put like loads of effort in this week, and it's been really difficult running up to it. Joinery Depot, Ben Miller for his efforts, Ashcourt.com, Carabuild, new sponsor, 5 Ways, AGV helmets, Scruffs, Steph at Envisage, and Reece Stubbs for saving me yesterday when my Reliant Robin broke down, or my friend's Reliant Robin broke down on the way. So thanks a lot.
Well done, thank you, Adam.
And Phil Doody as well for his advice.
Well done. It'll be on.
Welcome to Cadwell Park. It's the RST Clothing Golden Era Superbikes and the Sparklight Racing Golden Era Super Sport here at Cadwell. Round 4 of the 2013 season. There's Chris Norris on the front row, third. Number 70 is Neil Appleby. Nice to have Neil with us here this weekend. But on pole position, well, wonderful to have him in the Thundersport paddock. Ian Simpson on the RC45. Ian Simpson, without a shadow of the doubt, the most high-profile rider on the grid. A number of old bikes that you'll recognise here, of course, the Golden Era Superbikes. This is a class for basically superbikes of the Golden Era. And number 45, Ian Simpson from Dumfries on the Artisan Design Honda RC45, the beautifully turned out machine. Just to give you some idea as to how talented Ian is, if you're not a bike racing fan and you're not really good with your history, Ian Simpson is a TT winner, and he won the TT Superbike class in 1994. It was the Heat British Super Cup, which is now known as the British Superbike Championship. So Ian Simpson, effectively a TT winner and a British Superbike champion here in the Golden Era Superbikes, and he's on a trick better kit there, that RC45. In terms of the championship, well, it's Richard Blunt that leads, number 13. Keep an eye out for him. Ahead of 57, Rob Wilson. You might have just seen him going through your picture. Simpson there leading, Blunt in second place. I just saw a quick glimpse there of number 57, Rob Wilson. There's number 18, that's John Dieterman on the Ducati 860. That's a home-built bike. Just going up ahead of Ryan Strafford on the Yamaha, but Ian Simpson already. You can just hear the zingy sound to that RC45 going over the mountain. Worth quite a few £1,000, that machine. And with a rider as talented as Ian on top of it, we should really expect to see quite a comfortable victory from him. There's number 35, Rick Owen. Ricky Owen, a rider that has been on the club scene for quite a few years now. Nice to see him out there. He's battling in the Super Sport class. Rick Owen, at the moment, in terms of the points, he's not been to every round, but he's got himself in the top 10 of the Super Sport Championship. That's being led by Lee Longdon on the Moto Italia 748. Keep an eye out for Lee. He's out there on number 21. So Ian Simpson it is that leads overall. Further back in terms of the championship, Richard Blunt looking like he might just extend it if the checkered flag were to go out now anyway. That's Sean Goldsmith in second place. Chris Norris there, number 22, in fourth. Chris Norris, before we came to Cadwell, third place in the championship, and he's trying to get an attack. Oh, and that looks like Mick Everett. Yes, it is, number 5 on the S-Rad Suzuki 750. Mick Everett just going for a little detour. Maybe he wasn't in the battle that he wanted to be in, so he's decided just to give himself a little bit more work in this race. Mick Everett there, a former Street Fighter runner. Safe and sound back on the circuit. Ian Simpson already clearing off into the distance. First round for Ian. He tested with us at the start of the season. Expected to see him in a couple of other rounds. Oh dear, that's Rob Wilson, number 57. The bike is parked up and Rob Wilson second in the championship. His race is already over. Well, that will help Richard Blunt out enormously in the championship overall. This has not been Rob's weekend. He will be happy to leave Cadwell and move on to Alton Park next month. There's a good battle going on between number 6, that's Nick Williamson, and the likes of, he's around Adam Sheriff and Stacey Kilworth. Simpson it is that leads. Former Street Fighter C champion, Sean Goldsmith, is in second place. Then it's Richard Blunt and Chris Norris. There's Ricky Owen, number 35. on one of the first built Yamaha R6 machines. He's just ahead of John Dieterman on the 860 Ducati. And there is number 20, that's Andy Chalice on the Aprilia Miele. He's just down in 20th at the moment. But already Ian Simpson putting in some decent laps. The lap record has gone. He's broken that by 1.1 seconds. Lee Reevely held that record, and once again we send our regards over to Lee, still struggling with those nerve problems in his hand. He cannot race. He'll be immensely frustrated, but hopefully he'll be back racing with us soon. There's James Graham just going through on the Suzuki 750 behind Sheriff, and already exiting Barn Corner. The Golden Era Superbike race leader Ian Simpson, former BSB runner. Sean Goldsmith doesn't half know how to handle that road bike of his around this circuit. The MV Augusta 750, rider from Uckfield, sponsored by Sparklight Racing. He did say to me that once they get past the 6 or 7 lap stage, he does tend to get a bit tired. There's Craig Jeff, number 16, currently 8th in the championship, a bit further back down the listing at the moment. Not a weekend that he'll remember fondly. Sean Goldsmith here though, number 52. How long can he hold on to second place? Chris Norris now in third. Blunt coming under a bit of pressure in fourth there from Neil Appleby, number 70. Neil out there on that beautifully turned out Ducati 996. Still love the way those Ducatis look. Still a very nice looking machine, despite the fact that they're pretty much, well, imagine they're getting on for 20 years old soon. 45, Ian Simpson. Already at the bottom of the mountain and over the hill. He's lapping consistently in the low 137s. Chris Norris, since he's got into second place, because it looks like he's just moved ahead of Sean Goldsmith, is lapping really well. We'll pan back to that battle in a moment. How is Chris Norris doing as Ian Simpson exits Barn Corner onto the start-finish straight? Another lap completed. Let's have a look at this battle. It is Sean Goldsmith is back ahead of him now. Goldsmith still holding on to second place then. Norris in third. That's Richard Blunt, championship leader, in fourth place. Neil Appleby in fifth. And look at that. Good effort from number 21, Lee Longdon. Not as much power for Lee. A 748 Ducati. Way down on power, but he's up there in sixth place overall, leading the Golden Era Supersport Championship and leading in this race also. Now finally Chris Norris, number 22, has got himself ahead of Sean Goldsmith. Chris Norris, well, he's third in the championship overall behind Rob Wilson, but with Rob Wilson sitting on the tyre wall watching, great opportunity for Norris to close in some hefty championship points before we head over to Alton Park. Chris Norris will enjoy getting himself over to Alton. It's pretty much as local a track he's going to get. Rider from Stockport. There again, we see number 76, James Graham. He's got himself ahead now of 911. Adam Sheriff. Stacey Kilworth is there. Nick Williamson on the Honda SP1. James Graham, Chris Spink, Nick Allison, Sam Nicholson. All fighting it out for the remaining points. But there is no catching number 45, Ian Simpson. He's just gone across the line and did a 37.1. Chris Norris, a 37.4, so it's not bad from Norris. And Appleby has got himself ahead of Richard Blunt. So Blunt, despite the fact that Rob Wilson is watching from the side of the circuit, Richard Blunt not really able to capitalise that much. This battle there, you see 911 Sheriff, he's got himself ahead of Graham again. And Andy Saunders, number 41, we just saw a moment ago as well, ahead of Andy Chalice. There is that RC45 of Ian Simpson. There's Appleby, number 70, having a good battle now. Suzuki 750 up against a Ducati 996, just like the old days. There is number 75, Ryan Strafford, currently third in the Supersport class, ahead of Adam Sheriff. Rick Owen is in second, Lee Longdon leading. Lee Longdon's got, well actually, Lee Longdon in sixth place has fallen away now from Neil Appleby. There's Richard Blunt and Neil Appleby. Lee Longdon has been slowing up a bit. He's falling into the clutches of Rick Owen, number 35. That's the battle for Supersport glory. And interesting. A bit of a leg out there. That's just to almost say sorry to the race leader coming through, number 45, Ian Simpson. Last lap flag for him. It's been easy for Ian Simpson, hasn't it, so far? There's Sean Goldsmith. Can he hold on to the podium? He said that he runs out of steam a bit. Richard Blunt has moved back into 4th place ahead of Neil Appleby, so Blunt at the moment is on for 13 points. So he will extend his championship lead, but it's not going to be 25 for him because that goes to this man, Ian Simpson, provided he can make it round the last half a lap. It'll be nice to see Sean Goldsmith back on the podium again, the former Street Fighter C champion. And when we see him on the podium, look out for the smile. The biggest smile in the Thundersport GB paddock. There is Rick Owen, and he's got himself up a... No, he hasn't. He's closing in. Oh, my word! What an enormous crash that is. That's Craig Jeff into Park Corner, the bike cartwheeling, and I'm not surprised he's down. I hope he's okay. That is big. That's the crash down into Park Corner, the bike cartwheeling and managing to reach the tyre wall. And let me tell you, that is a long way that bike has travelled. I do hope Craig is okay. Oh, and he's up and he's walking away. Oh my, that's an enormous crash. I can't believe that he's got up and he's walking away. But meanwhile, at the front, Ian Simpson wheeling the RC45. The win for him, 25 points. Second place going to Chris Norris. Closes up some points on Rob Wilson in the championship. Sean Goldsmith does take 3rd. Blunt extends the championship lead overall in 4th. Neil Appleby in 5th. Who's it going to be for the Golden Era Super Sport win? Oh, it's close, you know. It's close. It's going to be just Lee Longdon, number 21, ahead of number 35, Rick Owen, and then John Dieterman in 8th. But the concern there was for Craig Jeff at the end. Whew. If he's, oh, I wonder if he's got an onboard camera on that. I doubt it's working, but good win for Ian Simpson. In the Golden Era Super Sport, there you see Lee Longdon winning from Rick Owen, Ryan Strafford, Adam Sheriff, Matt Johnston, and Chris Spink. Ian Simpson, middle of the picture, Chris Norris to the left and Sean Goldsmith on the right. And then in the Super Sport, Lee Longdon the winner from Rick Owen and Ryan Strafford.
And the winner of the Super Sport race goes to Lee Longdon yet again. Rick Owen was close behind you though in this race. Could you tell he was there?
Well, from the start, I had a bit of a bad start really. I kept on pushing away with all the Superbike boys. And I kept on maintaining lap times after lap after lap. And then I started to tire so quickly after about 5 or 6 laps. And I just knew I've got arm up, you know, so bad. I just had to go slower. Looked over my shoulder on the last lap. And I could see him there close me. I thought, bloody hell, I better put my finger out here. But no, luckily I came first, and that's 4 wins this weekend. You know, that's a good one for me.
Definitely. Any sponsors to thank?
Yes, I'd like to thank Motor Italia again this weekend, Motor Oil, and Wiz.
Well done, Lee.
Thank you.
And another win for Ian Simpson in the Superbike race. You didn't have as big as a lead in this race as your first race. I think you're encouraging the other riders to go a bit faster. Keep up with you.
No, my tyre was getting a bit knackered there, so I wasn't quite able to go as quick. Plus I'm getting a bit stiff and old, so I need to do a bit more training, get some cake off for the next one.
No, it's experience.
I don't know about that. We're away to Croatia in a few weeks with the TZ350s, so me and Robbie Burns are having a go over there, so looking forward to that. That's the next wobble round.
Well, we wish you luck for that. Any sponsors to thank?
Aye, Keith and Mick with RC45 and Big Call and Robbie Burns and Steve Maxwell and everybody that helps us, all the boys that help us. Thanks to the lads.
Well done, Ian.